Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's both shocking and honestly, a little bit wild. We're talking about law enforcement officers who cross the line big time. And not just any officers, we're focusing on female correctional officers who got caught up in relationships with inmates. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hollywood loves a good prison romance story. But trust me, the reality is often far more complicated and way less glamorous. We're about to unpack 5 stories that made headlines, shook the system, and left everyone wondering, how could this happen? So buckle up, because things are about to get interesting. Our first story takes us to upstate New York, to the seemingly impenetrable walls of Clinton Correctional Facility. This maximum security prison housed some of the most notorious criminals. Guys who seemed destined to spend the rest of their lives behind bars. Enter Joyce Mitchell, a seemingly ordinary woman working a seemingly ordinary job as a prison tailor shop instructor. But beneath the surface, a storm was brewing. Mitchell, you see, was about to become the unlikely mastermind behind a daring prison break that would captivate the nation. See, Mitchell wasn't just stitching uniforms. She was stitching together a plan, a risky escape route for 2 convicted murderers, Richard Matt and David Sweat. These weren't just any inmates, they were both serving life sentences for brutal crimes. So how did a seemingly average woman get entangled in this high-stakes plot? Well, investigators revealed that Mitchell had developed inappropriate relationships with both Matt and Sweat. They'd exchange letters, they'd sneak in forbidden conversations, and Mitchell, well, she seemed to fall under their spell. Mitchell's plan involved smuggling in tools, hacksaw blades, chisels, you name it, all cleverly hidden within frozen hamburger meat. For weeks, Matt and Sweat chipped away at the prison walls, inch by painstaking inch, all while Mitchell allegedly kept watch and provided them with the means to escape. Then, on June 6, 2015, the unthinkable happened. Matt and Sweat were gone. They had vanished into the thick New York wilderness, leaving behind a trail of questions and a whole lot of chaos. The manhunt that ensued was like something out of a movie, with helicopters circling overhead, bloodhounds sniffing out their trail, and thousands of law enforcement officers combing through the dense woods. As for Joyce Mitchell, her role in this elaborate escape act was quickly discovered, and she was arrested. Mitchell eventually pleaded guilty to charges of promoting prison contraband and criminal facilitation. She was sentenced to up to 7 years in prison, a stark reminder that even behind bars, actions have consequences. The escape exposed security flaws within the prison system, leading to investigations and reforms. And while Mitchell's story is a cautionary tale about the dangers of blurring the lines between captor and captive, it also serves as a reminder that truth can be stranger than fiction. Our next story takes us to the Lone Star State, where the lines between right and wrong become blurred in a tale of forbidden romance and shocking betrayal. This is the story of Charlene Diane O'Banion, a former Texas correctional officer whose life took a scandalous turn when she fell for an inmate under her watch. Now, working in a prison is no easy feat. It's a high-stress environment, dealing with individuals who have committed serious crimes. But as a correctional officer, you're expected to maintain order, uphold the law, and above all else, resist any temptation that might compromise your integrity and the safety of the institution. Charlene, however, found herself drawn to an inmate, a man serving time within the very walls she was sworn to guard. Details about the inmate and his crimes remain somewhat elusive, but what we do know paints a picture of a relationship that quickly spiraled from forbidden flirtation to a full-blown affair. Word of Charlene's relationship with the inmate spread like wildfire within the prison walls. The investigation that followed was swift and thorough. The evidence was overwhelming, leaving Charlene with no choice but to confess to her transgressions. Charlene was stripped of her badge and her freedom, charged with having an improper relationship with an inmate, a felony offense in the state of Texas. Her case serves as a stark reminder of the consequences that come with abusing a position of power and authority, especially within the unforgiving walls of a correctional facility. Chapter 3: Melissa Goodwin, a love that cost everything. Our next chapter takes us to Australia, where a young correctional officer's life spiraled out of control when she fell for a notorious inmate. This is the story of Melissa Goodwin, who seemed to have a bright future ahead of her. But her life took a dramatic turn when she crossed the line with an inmate named Corey London. London, a convicted armed robber, was serving time at the Silverwater Correctional Complex. Goodwin, a new recruit, was tasked with guarding London and other inmates. Working in a prison is demanding, dealing with individuals who have committed serious crimes. Goodwin was ill-prepared for the psychological complexities and was drawn to London's dangerous charm. Perhaps it was his reputation or the thrill of the forbidden that ignited a spark between them. Goodwin threw caution to the wind and embarked on a secret love affair with the man she was sworn to guard. Their relationship, shrouded in secrecy, played out against the backdrop of steel bars and concrete walls. They exchanged love letters, shared intimate phone calls, and engaged in sexual encounters within the prison walls. Goodwin's actions were a serious breach of trust that put her colleagues in the facility at risk. Investigators, acting on a tip-off, began monitoring Goodwin's activities. They uncovered illicit phone calls and smuggled love letters. When confronted with the evidence, Goodwin's facade crumbled. She confessed to her relationship with London, admitting to the illicit phone calls, the smuggled love letters, and the sexual encounters. Chapter 4. Melaine. Alicia Martin. When Duty Calls. For Love. From the sun-drenched shores of Australia, we travel to the bustling streets of New York City, where our next story unfolds. This is the story of Melaine Alicia Martin, a former New York City correctional officer whose life took an unexpected turn when she fell for an inmate under her watch. Now, Rikers Island, as many of you know, is infamous. It's one of the largest and most notorious correctional facilities in the United States, housing thousands of inmates awaiting trial or serving short sentences. It's a tough place, a melting pot of humanity where tensions run high and the potential for danger is ever present. Melaine Martin, a young woman who had dedicated her life to upholding the law, found herself assigned to this challenging environment. Her duty was clear: to maintain order, enforce the rules, and ensure the safety of both staff and inmates within the facility's walls. But amidst the chaos and the clamor of prison life, Melaine found herself drawn to an inmate, a man whose charm and charisma transcended the boundaries of their respective roles. His name, unfortunately, has been lost to the sands of time, but the impact he had on Melaine's life was undeniable. Their relationship, forbidden from the start, blossomed in the shadows of one of America's most notorious prisons. Stolen glances, whispered conversations during routine checks, and secret rendezvous fueled their connection. Melaine, bound by her oath and her duty, found herself torn between her responsibilities and the undeniable feelings she had developed for the inmate. But their secret affair, like all secrets, eventually unraveled. Whether it was a slip of the tongue, a suspicious encounter witnessed by another officer, or the watchful eye of prison surveillance, their forbidden romance was exposed. The investigation that followed was swift and thorough. Phone records were analyzed, revealing a trail of late-night calls between Melaine and a number traced back to a prepaid cell phone smuggled into the prison. Chapter 5. Aisha Gunn. Love in the Time of Lockdown. Our final chapter brings us to Mississippi, where a prison nurse's life took a scandalous turn when she fell for an inmate. This is the story of Aisha Gunn, a woman whose compassion led her down a dangerous path. Working within the prison system is no easy feat. It takes a special kind of person to balance compassion with authority. Aisha Gunn, a licensed practical nurse, seemed to possess these qualities. She was known for her caring nature and dedication to her patients. But her commitment was tested when she met Jeremy Smith. Smith, a convicted felon, was charismatic and undeniably charming. He had a way of making people feel seen and heard. Aisha, drawn to Smith's charisma, crossed the line from caregiver to lover. Their forbidden relationship unfolded within the walls of the Mississippi State Penitentiary. They'd steal moments together, sharing dreams of a life beyond bars. Aisha began smuggling contraband into the prison, providing Smith with forbidden items. She justified her actions as acts of love, helping Smith survive prison life. But her actions were illegal, putting her career and freedom in jeopardy. As their relationship deepened, so did Aisha's involvement in Smith's activities. She began depositing money into his commissary account. Aisha's double life could not remain hidden forever. Her suspicious behavior eventually reached the ears of prison authorities. Chapter 6. The High Cost of Forbidden Love. These stories, while shocking, highlight a very real and often overlooked issue within our correctional systems. They remind us that prisons, for all their rules and regulations, are still microcosms of society, where human emotions, desires, and weaknesses persist. It's a reminder that those who work within these institutions, while tasked with upholding the law, are not immune to the complexities of human nature. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to subscribe and like this video. Thanks for watching.